let's get into the content. Thank you for all the super chats and memberships. I appreciate you. You guys are legends. Mods, let me know how far we are from tier 1. Here we go, boys. Where do we even begin? God, Jesus. So we're going to watch the clip because I don't give a fuck. So spoiler warning for everybody watching this video on Hypnotic Live and for everybody watching this stream right now. Spoiler warning for The Last of Us. If for some odd fucking reason you have no idea, which I would question. I would question that if you have no idea. But if you for some reason have no idea, then now I am giving you your spoiler warning to get the fuck out. You better like the stream before you leave, but get the fuck out. All right? Because we're going to be talking about The Last of Us Season 2, which is causing a huge meltdown online, both positive and negative, right? So there's a lot of positive people out there, obviously, and there's a lot of negative stuff out there, obviously. Now, here's the most amazing thing to me, okay? The most amazing thing to me is that people are out there that genuinely don't know that this was going to happen, right? And I noticed that a lot of the backlash that this episode is receiving is from people that thought that this was not going to happen. Like you had fans of The Last of Us, right? Who were thinking, oh, maybe they won't do it to Joel, right? Maybe they won't kill Joel. Maybe they'll let him survive all the way to the end. Maybe they'll drag it out, right? But no, they didn't. They did exactly what everybody thought they were going to do. And they followed the video game and killed off Joel pretty fucking early into the season. So you got articles everywhere right now. And the main thing I want to go over is, let me go to my Twitter really quick. So let's look at, actually, let's go here. Hold on. Let's go here. So if you search The Last of Us on Twitter, Kyle Barra said Smash said it was a banger of an episode. Listen, I'm going to let you guys in on a secret, okay? Give me 1 second. Let me drink water. Hold on. I'm going to let you guys in on a secret, all right? You cannot tell Smash I told you this. Do you guys promise? You guys promise? Please promise me right now in the chat that you're not going to tell Smash JT what I'm about to tell you, this secret, okay? Okay. You all promise? Good. Okay, good. All right, so listen. So here's the secret, okay? The secret that Smash doesn't want you to know is that when it comes to entertainment, especially video game related, Smash JT has actually been scientifically proven. He's went to a doctor and everything. He's been scientifically proven to be extremely autistic and absolutely fucking retarded, right? So don't tell him I told you that. So if he said that this was a banger, then just let it be known that he is extremely autistic, and you should just take what he says with a grain of salt. Take what he said with a grain of salt. He's a little bit retarded, okay? He tries to hide it because, he doesn't want people to make fun of him. All right, but the simple fact is you thought that Chair JT was the sidekick? No. Chair JT is the actual main attraction. That is the real Smash JT. All right, like the googly-eyed chair. Yeah, that's the real Smash JT. That's the retard. That's the retard. The person sitting in a chair, that's just the avatar. Right? He's Booty JT. Yeah. No. Actually, he's Grace JT. You know how we have Grace Randolph, the ultimate shill for stuff like this? No. We got Grace JT. All right? We're going to call him Grace JT. That's what we're going to do. So, in any case, let me clear this chat really quick. So, in all seriousness, if you search The Last of Us on Twitter, it is crazy. Okay. First off, I want to make a comment. So I was told for many years, I was told that Abby's body in The Last of Us 2 was extremely realistic, that we are bigoted for not believing it, that it should be believable that she can have a body as muscular as she did, that she had a body that you need at least 5,000 calories a day to maintain. And I was told that women look like that. I was told that there were some women that look like that, right? Neil Druckmann went above and beyond to try to convince everybody that Abby is realistic in every manner. So if that's the case, then why the fuck is Abby in the TV show like 110 pounds if she's lucky? Why is Abby 110 pounds if she's lucky? And then on top of that too, why is it that Abby is cuter than fucking Ellie, which makes it even worse? It makes it worse because then I'm going to start rooting for Abby, and I'm not supposed to root for Abby. So my thing is like, where is her muscles, bro? Why does she even lift? Does she even lift, bro? Where is your muscles, man? So I just find that to be ironic. But anyway, you have some people shilling. Obviously, they're like, this is amazing. This is the best in TV history. Okay. Here's something I want to talk about. Grace Randolph. Look at this fucking creature. Grace Randolph. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know who Grace Randolph is, bless your heart. Bless your heart if you do not know who Grace Randolph is. Okay. Grace Randolph has said the following. She says, I'm not going to cover The Last of Us Season 2 and will probably stop watching the show. Well, guess what, Gracie? A lot of people are probably right in the same boat with you. They're most likely going to stop watching the show after episode 2. She says, I really dislike last night's episode, despite liking cutscenes of the second game quite a bit. Abby was never cruel. What? I need to drink water again. Hold on. Abby was never cruel. According to Grace Randolph, Abby was never cruel. She says, but I see a lot of people enjoyed Deborah's performance, so don't want to be critical of it. Gracie, come close. Come close, Gracie. Come close. Listen. So this is why when people ask me, hey, why do you review SBI, woke video games, whatever, why do you do that? Because my job, like if I'm going to say my job as a video game reviewer, then my job as a reviewer is to take my own personal opinions that were there prior to the creation and the existence of the game out of the fucking review and just review the game based on the game itself, and that is it. Gracie, you say that you are a reviewer. You say that you are a TV show reviewer. This is what you do. So now you are saying that you do not want to do your job because people enjoyed it and you don't want to be critical? What the fuck is your job then, Gracie? What are you supposed to be doing? What are you supposed to be doing? This is supposed to be your job. Why would you stop reviewing? Why would you stop reviewing the TV show because you didn't like the fucking episode? Why don't you just tell people that you didn't like the episode? It's pretty obvious why. It's because Gracie thinks that she can't lose her access, right? She doesn't want to tell people that the show fucking sucked or that she didn't like the episode. And since other people are enjoying it, she doesn't want to ruin it. You're not a casual viewer, Gracie. You're not a casual viewer. You are a reviewer. This is what you're supposed to do. Tell people what you thought of the episode. Criticize it and praise it when it deserves it. How are people ever supposed to get some genuine feedback about something they haven't seen if you're not going to be objective about it? The moment you come to this decision and say, I'm not going to review it because I can't be negative about this show, everybody should take what you say and throw it out the fucking window if they haven't done it already. Plain and simple. Just throw it out the fucking window. There is literally no point for you to be doing reviews in the slightest if you can't tell people when something is potentially bad or not. Just because people are enjoying it, get the fuck out of here with that. I can't believe that you as a reviewer are sincerely saying this right now and expecting nobody to push back on it. It's wild to me. It's wild to me. And is it because why? Because it's Abby? Bro, she needs the access. Bro, she already has the access. She has all the access she fucking needs. What are we talking about? The Bugle Daily says this would have been much better. This would have been much better. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, look at this. They can never make me like you. Fuck you and your daddy, too. Bro, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of siding with this Abby, bro. I'm sorry. Like, this Abby is looking real feminine. She's looking real, like, you know what I mean? You know, I kind of want her to kill Ellie, too. Just get it over with. Would? Absolutely would. Oh, absolutely. Would. Abby's kind of bad, though. Yup. Would. I'm telling you, this, yeah, I kind of want to cheer her on. I kind of want to see what's this cruelty that Grace Randolph is, which, by the way, the fact that she said that Abby was never cruel in the game is unbelievable to me. Oh my God, Sydney Sweeney as Abby. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Whew. Sydney Sweeney as Abby. Get the golf club. Get the golf club. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Holy shit. Get the golf club.
Holy shit.
Yep. So let's keep going down. Mr. Bug says, just skim through the Last of Us new episode. They killed Joel off, and thus any reason anyone will watch this show. Oh, the drop off is going to be hilarious to see. We're going to go over the reviews for the episode, by the way, in a second. You just got to give me a minute. Then you got some people saying this was genuinely one of the best episodes of television ever, which, by the way, I find it interesting that all the positive comments are basically saying this is the best television has ever done. Out of all of the TV shows that have ever existed in television, this is the best that television has ever done. For some reason, I just highly doubt that. Now, keep in mind, I was a fan of the original season 1 of The Last of Us before it just started going completely downhill. But I was a fan of the beginning when they first started it off. The first episode was good. Second episode was good. Then you got to the gay episode and it's like, all right, whatever. They were gay in the game. But what you're doing is taking an offside relationship and you're turning it into a whole fucking episode of this big gay happy fucking like story that never happened in the game. It never happened in the game. They never had this big happy fucking gay ending in the game at all. It was all just meant for that one episode in season 1. But whatever, anyway. They wanted to do that. John A. Douglas says, I was wrong. The Last of Us show apparently killed off Joel in the second episode of season 2, which was mirroring the game's narrative. I had figured they would stretch that shit out, but nah. Congrats. Now your only star is this. Good luck. Oh! Oh,
holy shit.
Oh, shit. What the fuck, bro? These Bella Ramsey memes, they need to stop. Y'all need to stop with this, bro. Y'all need to stop. The internet needs to stop. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. Down, yo. This guy said down with the sickness. You need to repent. You need to repent, you bastard. Oh my God. Decembro says, what a beautiful specimen. Listen. We man, this is science, bro. This is science, bro. That's amazing. Holy shit, I'm liking that one. Haha, they weren't ready. The Last of Us. Hold on, what's this? Oh my God, what is this? What? This is the real Abby. Why didn't we get this Abby? Why did we not get this Abby? I don't understand. Oh, by the way, I want you guys to understand something. So, did you see the majority of the killers in The Last of Us Season 2? Look at the killers in The Last of Us Season 2. Look. Look at this. T-Jab says we're $36 away from Tier 1. Thank you, T-Jab. Look at this, bro. Look at this. So, you mean to tell me that these are the ones that rounded up Joel? Joel, the guy who was supposed to be very cautious, overall very smart, a little overprotective for the right reasons. These are the people? Okay. Interesting. But regardless, whatever. Yo, what the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Oh my God, dude. Holy shit. What are we doing? What are we doing? This is a rabbit hole. This is a rabbit hole. Whatever you do, do not go on Twitter and type in The Last of Us. You are gonna go down a rabbit hole, bro. Oh my God, dude. Adding her to my list of the top 10 most hated TV characters. And it's only been 2 episodes. I don't give a fuck what her reason was. I hate this motherfucker with a passion and hope she eats pavement. The actress is great, bro. Like, kudos. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. People are melting down. And they're melting down because apparently they had no idea that this was going to happen, right? These are people who never played the video games. These are people who are just either normies or they're just, whatever. They had no idea. And I find it amazing that the sentiment is basically mirroring how gamers felt during The Last of Us 2 when it happened, when we first saw it happen, right? When we saw Joel die, everybody felt robbed. People were like, it didn't make sense. Why would Joel just end up in that situation in the first place? He's usually very cautious. Why would he be so overly trusting? I don't understand. What is going on? Who's this muscular chick? Who's this trans chick? Like, what the fuck? Like, at least they don't get that. At least they don't get that. Because can you imagine if Joel was getting his head beaten by a trans person on TV? You know the reason why they didn't cast a muscular Abby is because the optics of that would look really bad. The optics of a super masculine looking woman, a trans looking woman on screen being violent and beating the head of another man would look really bad. So they decided to go with an actual female looking person. They did that because that way they can avoid the optics of trans people looking bad. Especially in today's day and age. Back when The Last of Us Season 2 came out, not The Last of Us Season 2, I'm sorry. Back when The Last of Us 2 came out, the video game, they didn't have those optics to worry about. So they wanted to put that in there and they didn't care. But now they can't have those optics, especially now since, you got all the shooting situations happening and a lot of the violent people we come to find out end up being non-binary, trans, or whatever. They can't afford that. So they put in an actual female-looking woman. They put in what they would call a cisgender woman to avoid the bad optics. Why actresses should be paid less. Caitlin Dever, who plays Abby in The Last of Us, can't be bothered to go To the gym. Exactly. Go to the fucking gym. Nah, but that's not going to happen. I mean, look at this shit, though. Look at this shit. Neil Cuckman seriously tried to convince you that this fucking creature on the right was a realistic woman. And what's even more insulting is that, yes, there are some women that look like this. Usually they are very roided up, number one. And number two, they're not looking like this in a post-apocalyptic world. They don't have access to performance-enhancing drugs. They don't have access to a 5,000-calorie diet. They don't have access to that. This bitch would not be nowhere near the size that she is. It is impossible. But again, he would try to convince you that it was possible. And then the one time that he had the opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to show you just how realistic it is. And he doesn't do it. He doesn't put in a muscular woman. Why not? Why is there not a muscular woman in the role of Abby for the TV show? We all know why. It's all about optics, baby. All about optics. Anyway, so, okay. Look at this. Dom the Bomb. Thank you for everything, Pedro Pascal. Smile. Close up. Close up. Dead!
Holy shit.
What a way to say thank you. You said he's the GOAT and a heart emoji, and you put in his fucking dead picture. But like, what are we doing, bro? Is that seriously how you want to thank him? Anyway, Bella Ramsey is tired of reporters asking about the age gap between the seasons of The Last of Us. They're like, there's been a 5-year age gap. How do you prepare to play an older Ellie? I've grown up. Ellie's grown up. There's nothing to tell. Yeah, I just sat there and tried to grow a few inches.
Ellie was 14 in season 1, and now she's 19 in season 2. There's been a 5-year age gap. How did you prepare to play an older Ellie in season 2? I'm like, in the same way that I prepared in season 1. I've grown up. Ellie's grown up. Like, there's nothing to tell. I've got nothing to say to you.
Bro, what do you mean you've grown up? You're like 4'2". What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The only thing that grew was your forehead and your jaw circumference. Like, that's the only thing that fucking grew. What else grew? Nothing else grew, bro. The only thing that grew was a zip code distance between your two eyes. I don't understand where you grew. Nothing grew, bro. Nothing grew. The only thing you gained was pronouns in between the first season and the last season. That's the only thing that grew. That's literally the only thing that grew. Your pronouns grew. Congratulations. Wow, that's amazing. That's fantastic. Right? Seriously. You like one of those cartoon characters where they like put their thumb in their mouth and they blow on it and they pretend like they're a balloon and they start to expand, and then before you know it, their head gets really big. That's kind of it. You know what I mean? I mean, holy shit, I don't understand. Anyway, so let's watch. Her hairline grew, yeah, in the opposite direction. Let's watch. We're gonna watch the scene, boys. Now, keep in mind, we got to be really careful. Okay, I hope you guys don't mind that I'm not going to play this clip. Okay, I'm going to do a slideshow essentially because I already know the copyright strikes are going to be wild. They're going to be wild, right? So I'm just going to do a slideshow, and that's literally it. I'm not going to play any clips, no audio, no nothing. So Warner Brothers, control your dicks. Control your dicks. All right, so it plays out relatively the same to the video game. Ellie essentially walks into the room and then finds Joel getting his ass beat. Okay. There's Abby. I mean, damn, bro. Look at Abby. Damn, bro.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
All right, listen, Abby. All right, listen. Listen, Abby, she can, you know what I mean? Like, if she wants to go after Ellie too, let her be. Listen, let her be. Let her be, man. You know what I mean? It's fine. Maybe she's misunderstood. You know, maybe Abby is misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, bro. Carlos 5'3", 110 pounds, and she has a 6 foot tall fucking dude on the ground. How tall is Pedro Pascal? I know his ass is well over 200 pounds. How? Like, come on, bro. Come on. Are you serious right now? Anyway, so the Avengers are lined up, obviously, and they start fighting Ellie. And then somehow 90-pound fucking floating head over here somehow gets a few hits on a couple of guys, cuts them up with a knife or something like that, before eventually getting tackled by Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet over here. As you can see, the body slam. This one's trying to look all brolic for whatever reason. She's trying to like have her shoulders all broad and shit when she really should not have her shoulders broad at all because she weighs like 110 pounds. Ellie ends up obviously trying to fight it. Somehow she ends up making these people struggle. I really don't think they're great Avengers if they're struggling to hold down the Cuphead going on over there. But if we continue forward, obviously it plays out like the video game. Let me scroll. Let me go forward. So one guy ends up kicking her like nonstop in the stomach. She ends up screaming terribly, terrible acting, by the way. I like how they're trying to say that she did amazing as an actress. I swear, if you were to watch this, scene play out, I'm gonna say that the video game did it better. Holy shit, here we go with Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet again. That's great. Here we go. So Joel obviously is beat up pretty bad. As expected. Joel is beat up pretty bad, and it mimics the video game pretty good. Pedro Pascal does a pretty good job of just being a lifeless body. So great job to Pedro Pascal, doing that. And Abby seems like she's getting off on it throughout this clip. She's breathing in deep. She's like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? This guy goes up to Abby and says, "You need to end it." Right here. He says, "End it," right there. He yells at her. And she's like, yes, I will end it, even though I'm supposed to be the leader, but I'll listen to you. It's fine. And she goes and she grabs I'm assuming the golf club with the head knocked off. It's basically turned into a spike. She grabs that, and obviously Ellie's screaming right now. Ellie is screaming and whatnot. And then it leads to the nice situation where, well, you see it right there, right? So she stabs him in the neck. And they make it very silent. They completely remove the audio, and they basically focus on kind of hyperfixating on like background noise of Ellie screaming, but it all goes very silent. And like I said, it's a little bit similar to the video game, but at this point it starts to take some creative differences. But for the most part, it tries to maintain this same. So after that, I mean, damn, ow. Listen, at least he gets to go back to like, the Fantastic Four and stuff. So at this point, Abby has gotten off. She's finished. She's good. She's a little soaked, but she's good. She's moving on. And then Ellie, this is the hilarious part about this, right? So Ellie, I don't know if it's how do I want to put it? I don't know if it's because it is like whatever this bitch's name is. What's her name again? Bella Ramsey. Yeah, Bella Ramsey. I don't know if it's because it's Bella Ramsey. But when Bella Ramsey starts screaming, "I'm gonna kill you," I honestly just fucking laughed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just laughed. I'm like, there's no like, who is gonna look at Bella Ramsey and feel threatened? Like, you really like? She's like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill all of you. You're all gonna fucking die." And I'm just like, look at this fucking like, what? I don't believe a single fucking word you're saying. What are you talking about? At least in the video game, when Ellie said those things, it was still kind of funny, but you kind of felt the emotion. They sold it better, in my opinion. But I think it's because it's Bella. I think, I'm just being real with you. I think it's because it's Bella, and I don't believe it at all. So anyway, she screams at everybody, and she's like, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. All of you are gonna die. Every single one of you." And they look at her, and they're just like, whatever. They don't knock her out, but they kick the shit out of her though. Yeah, the Hispanic guy, he's been aching to do this shit. He kicks the shit out of Bella, and she obviously, it didn't end too well for her. So They get their shit, they walk away, and she ends up crawling. She crawls to Joel, holds his hand, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, right here. I mean, look at this girl. She looks like 13 years old, bro. Not even. Like, the fact that she in an interview just said that she grew, like, bro, what did you grow? You didn't grow into anything. You're the same fucking size you were in the first season. But in any case, she takes the golf club spike out of his neck and holds his hand. Let me see. Awkwardly hugs the body. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's basically it. That's it for the clip. So, again, they don't knock her out or anything. She just crawls to the body, and that's what it is. So, my thing is, people are clearly not happy about this. And it makes you wonder, it's not just people that didn't play the video games who are not happy about this. The reason why is because there are people that play the video games that are still complaining about this. They're like, I can't believe you actually did it. What do you mean you can't believe they did it? What do you mean? You knew this was going to happen. You knew that Joel was going to die. Anybody who's played the video game knows that Joel was going to die. Why would you play the video games and then expect the TV show to not do anything different? I would actually probably be upset if they did anything different. Because I remember when I heard about season 2, I was like, well, at least we get to have the joy of Abby killing Joel. You know what I'm saying? At least we get the joy of that. Because that way, we already knew that all the people that were watching the TV show were going to be, number one, shocked, and number two, they were going to be highly upset over it. And that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. At the end of the day, we knew that Joel was going to die. Even though the TV show has taken some creative differences from the video game, obviously, we knew that that was going to be a thing. I don't understand why people really thought that Joel was going to live, or at least they were going to drag it out. Although I can see why that would be plausible. I can see why it would be plausible for them to drag out Joel's death all the way until the end of the season. But considering how fast they were telling the story, I really don't see how that would actually happen. You know? So it's just, it is what it is. But I think this is hilarious. I think the meltdown is absolutely insane. Yeah, it is stupid. And at the end of the day, I would want to see one thing and one thing only. So hold on. Before we continue, let me see if I could bring up the reviews. The Last of Us season 2 episode 2 review. Let me see if I could bring up the reviews. Maybe I'll can you do they still do episodic? They do on Rotten Tomatoes, right? So okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, but I don't really have that much to go based off of. Fuck, what about Metacritic? Does Metacritic do episodic reviews? Let me see. They do. They do. Okay, so let's do... Where is the reviews, though? Okay, here we go. All right, so we got Metacritic. It's all over the place. It is all over the place. You got some 10 out of 10s, obviously. You got some mid-levels, obviously. A lot of them are marked with spoilers. Spoiler, obviously. Glob gives it a 1. All these changes ruin the flow of the story, spitting in the face of the source material. DeCheo gave him a 0. I mean, like, what the fuck? Alper says, you only had one job, bro. Ellie's emotions were definitely more realistic in the game scene, but I couldn't see enough anger and revenge in Ellie's eyes in the series scene. I hope you adapted the final fight scene in the game better. Mogu MG, again, it's all covered. Perfect episode of television, doesn't waste any time, builds suspense immediately. The show is jaw-dropping. Now, here's the thing. Oh, I know, right? Smash AT gave it a fucking 10 out of 10. Smash AT gave it a 10 out of 10. I know. Fucking shill. Here's the thing, though. So, with The Last of Us, even though people are melting down on X, the reviews are actually pretty good for the most part. There is a lot of websites out there, like Rotten Tomatoes, for example. I think Rotten Tomatoes right now has a critic score of about 95%. I don't think there's an audience score yet. Yeah, look at this fucking guy. Look at this shill. 10 out of 10. Look at this guy. 10 out of 10. a lot of people are pretty happy with it for the most part. But a lot of the, I guess, hatred and anger is coming from social media itself, not so much the official websites, which, I mean, listen, that's pretty consistent. That happens across the board. But all I want to see from now on is what the viewership is going to be like after this. Here's the thing. They only ever announce viewership for the first 2 episodes. This is what they usually do. And after that, they stop talking about it. Gee, I wonder why, right? They did the same thing with the first season, where the first 2 episodes were pretty huge. And then they just stop talking about it. They don't talk about the viewership after the first 2 episodes. They completely ignore it, right? So I would be very curious to see what the viewership would be like after the second episode, to see what the drop off would be, because I gotta imagine that a lot of people who probably didn't know that this was gonna happen, they probably got turned off big time. Now, to be fair, some people probably didn't, but still, I gotta imagine this is probably gonna turn off a lot of people. They did the thing. Yeah, they did the thing. It's amazing that they can't even say it in the article, obviously, because of spoilers. So they gotta say, Last of Us did the thing. Look at Smash. Can't lie, it was a very well done episode. It is what it is. Hey, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm not saying it wasn't. Don't get me wrong. It just sounds like you want to be cast in the season 3. That's what it sounds like, Smash. That's what it sounds like. Listen, Smash. Booty JT. It is what it is. It is what it is. Just accept it. Booty Adams accepts it. Just accept it. Anyway. So I would be curious to see what the episodes do afterwards. But yeah, I mean, this is where we are with The Last of Us. I'm shocked that it happened this soon. I'm shocked that it happened this soon. I would wonder, I thought that it would be at least halfway through the season. I didn't think that it would be the second episode. I'm actually shocked that it was the second episode, to be honest with you. I don't know about you guys, but that's me personally. I was shocked that it was a second episode. I figured they would drag it along a little bit, milk it a little bit. But how many seasons do they plan to do with The Last of Us? Because considering how fast they are going through the story, I mean, goddamn, what are you going to end at 2 seasons? Is that it? Does anybody know if they're going to end at 2 seasons? I don't want to imagine a world where they don't have a source material to go off of. I don't want to imagine a world where they have that. Because can you imagine if, let's say, at the end of season 2, it ends exactly where the second game ended? Now you got to go based off of no source material? No, thank you. No, thank you. Those fucking writers in Hollywood? No, thank you. I'm good. Season 2 is a 2-parter? Okay, I can see. That I can see. I can see the second game being split up into 2 different seasons. I could see that. I could see that. So that'll get you 3 seasons, and then you can just be out while the topic is hot. Flying a Nuke says, so they'll pull a Game of Thrones? I hope not. That would be terrible. Because can you imagine The Last of Us being written by people that never played the games? That would be a big problem. That would be a big issue. Kage says no source material works so great for the Game of Thrones. Yeah, I know. Hold on one second. Sorry, I got to refresh something. Ermac says that's what happens when you have a 2016 Rainbow mindset. Yep, I would say that's about right. Is it 8 pieces or is it 10? That I don't know. I would imagine it's 8. I would imagine it's 8 episodes. I don't know if you guys know the answer to that in the chat. You can let me know. But I would think that it's 8. So we'll see. Their main star is gone. They are done. What do you mean? Wait, hold on. Do you mean to tell me that Pedro Pascal is the main star and not Ramsey? No way. Absolutely not. That floating balloon is 100% the main star. I don't know what you're talking about. The show is being carried on her back on their back right now. I don't know about you, but I think you need to repent for that one. You might be wrong on that one, sir. I'm just kidding, obviously. Okay. that's basically it for The Last of Us. You guys can let me know in the comments down below if you're watching this clip on Hypnotic Live. Let me know what you think about episode 2, obviously. I would love to know. Don't be like Smash JT and just be like 10 out of 10, please hire me. Let me know what you actually thought of the episode. And if you thought it was better than the video game or if you thought it was worse. I would love to know.